It's Mailbag Monday on a Tuesday. That's confusing. Sorry about that. Hey, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Mainly, who will be the Blackhawks' next big rival? Before, it was the Canucks, a couple other teams, the Kings. Who's going to be next when the Hawks are good again? All that and more next on CHGO Blackhawks. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast. I'm Jay Zawoski. That's Mario Tirabassi. Joey's running the show today for us. It is Mailbag Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed our What If show.
What If?
Aired last night. It is What If Week at CHGO Ranks Week this week. So shows all week at 7 o'clock talking about what happens if. And we debuted yesterday. So if you missed it, go back and check it out. Really good stuff. But all of our shows, we'll be doing it tonight. Bulls at 7.
Bulls.
Wednesday is Cubs. Also Sox. Thursday is Bears. Friday is a overarching what if show, kind of going through the whole thing.
Biggest in Chicago sports history. Definitive list.
Yes.
Set in stone.
Then no one will have any objections
There will be no arguments.
Nope. Everyone will be in full agreement.
Peace and harmony, gentlemen.
Yes.
It's the greatest list ever constructed.
Just as these things are intended to be.
Yes.
We're not looking for any sort of feedback or interaction.
No,
nope.
Never.
We just want agreement.
All 10 were consensus opinions. Everyone's list was the same.
Yes, 100%. You can't argue with us. Hit that like button for us. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube page as well. If you're listening on the good old podcast, make sure you're following or subscribed on your favorite app and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We have a bursting mailbag.
I did before we burst open.
Yeah.
We lanced the mailbag. I did want to add a note that I think we might have forgotten in the discussion last night on the top 10. Number 2 was if the Blackhawks never win the 2007 draft lottery, right?
Yeah.
Well, I had completely forgotten. If Patrick Stefan scores that empty net goal, and this, I think it was the Stars he was playing, or Sens or Stars, I can't remember. Doesn't matter. If he scores that empty net goal, they win that game, and the Oilers don't force overtime and get that extra point.
Yep.
Blackhawks may never win that lottery because they wouldn't be in the position they were in the standings.
If not for Buddy Robinson. There's a million. The Panthers don't make the playoffs if not for Buddy Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
The Hawks don't get the number 1 overall pick probably if not for Buddy Robinson's great game.
Yeah.
Against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Who could forget? Good old number 53, Buddy Robinson.
Sucker punching people in the KHL now.
Hey man, he's good on my list forever. It worked out.
Yeah, it did.
All right, let's get to our bursting sack, shall we? Joey, do the honors.
Let's do it, gentlemen. We're going to hit our Discord members up here first. This one's from Corey. Would you like me to read it? You guys got it.
We can do it. This is from Corey. He says, there are always historic rivalries between teams. For the longest time, it was the Red Wings and now the Blues. When the Hawks are back in serious contention, what are some other rivalries that you could see coming from it or see forming? For example, there were those periods where the Hawks would match up with the Ducks, Canucks, Kings during the Cup runs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're going to have those new rivals that they're short-lived because it very much feels like the Canucks rivalry is no longer a rivalry.
No.
But for those few years, there was no hotter rivalry in hockey.
Yeah, I mean, with the playoffs set up the way it is, like that's where you're going to see those rivalries really either build or boil over, especially when they're outside the division, Pacific and Central Division teams crossing over. They don't play as each other as much. But I think the team that you've kind of forecast running alongside and likely running into the playoffs a number of times would be the San Jose Sharks because your rebuild as the Blackhawks and their rebuild run parallel and the timelines, they might differ, but not by much. I think the top players hitting their prime when, the Sharks are good again and the Hawks are good again will probably line up at the same time, and you're very likely going to be seeing like Celebrini versus Bedard, Smith versus Frondell, and Frank Nazar making a name for himself like in series like that. Like it's going to be intense.
Frank Nazar and Boris Kachuk.
Well,
Sharks legend.
Maybe, yeah. Phil Kurashev. He played for both sides. He's going to be a legend in the rivalry.
Hashtag traitor.
I think the Sharks is one that down the road for sure. I think you're going to see a rivalry build, and I think a good rivalry has built up between delusional Canucks fans and Blackhawks fans over the fact that they believe Connor Bedard is gonna go to Vancouver and go to that sparkling organization.
Well, I think that there's already the seeds have been planted of Hawks and Sharks already, because as you mentioned, you've got the Bedard versus Celebrini thing. You've got the often discussed different vibes between Chicago and San Jose, which maybe will flip-flop this year, as the Hawks are truly kind of going younger while the Sharks added some veterans.
Maybe. The Hawks social team has some work to do.
Yes. Yes. And the others, if we're looking at the Eastern Conference too, just as we have Bedard versus Celebrini, we're going to have Levchinov and Demidov with Montreal too. And Montreal's another team that when the Hawks are good, they'll be good. And maybe, fingers crossed, could have a Chicago-Montreal Cup final. That'd be a hell of a road trip I'd be ready to take.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready to go anytime.
But it's funny because it will be Anaheim again too.
Probably, yeah.
It's funny that the Hawks and Sharks didn't meet more often.
Who within the division do you think is going to be the biggest rival? Because
like Colorado's not going anywhere. Dallas isn't going anywhere.
Right. Like those teams are at the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
And the Hawks aren't really going to be maybe it's the Wild. Maybe the Wild and Hawks meet in the playoffs sometime soon in the near future. Always seemed like they ran into each other during the Dynasty era, and the Blackhawks just got rid of the Wild quickly, whether it was first or second round. Yeah. Maybe the Blues. I don't know. It's just kind of. I feel like it's hard to kind of pinpoint the division because most teams other than the Predators are a number of steps ahead of where the Blackhawks are trying to get to.
Yeah. I mean, and Giggity points out Utah. That's another team
maybe Utah.
That is on maybe a year or two ahead of the Hawks in their rebuild process. And now that they've got stability ownership-wise, they seem to be a place where players are now interested in playing. Mm-hmm. Those Western teams are certainly going to be, as they grow, right in line with the Hawks. So it's going to be interesting, and I'm here for it. It is just amazing, though, that the Hawks and Sharks did not meet more often
in the playoffs
during the Cup runs, because they were both really good at the same time. So we'll see.
Yeah, just the 2010 conference finals, the only one I remember.
I'm here though for some smoke between Chicago and like San Jose, Utah, because like you want to get those games to mean something. You're always going to have the division rivals that fire people up, the Blues, the Wild, and then like when Detroit comes to town. But I'd like to see people get excited about some of the less, traditional hockey markets, and the Hawks are going to be running parallel to a bunch of them. So it's going to be fun in a few years.
Yeah,
maybe not so much next year.
Yeah, I mean, I want on ice rivalries, not just on the keyboards. Like I want those teams to start giving us some stuff to get excited about on the ice.
Yep. All right, let's grab another one here, Joey. This from our buddy Windy City Hockey. He says, why does the NHL only give the Blackhawks road season openers, since the last time the Blackhawks played at home for the season opener was 2017 versus Pittsburgh? With the centennial this season, I would have thought it would have been smart to give the Hawks season opener as a home opener. Sure.
You know how like Alabama and like Clemson, those teams, they'll play like Kennesaw State to start the year.
Appalachian State.
Yeah.
Thanks for beating Michigan.
We're Kennesaw State. We're Georgia Southern.
Just watched. You got to watch the Panthers globetrot on the Blackhawks as their banner is getting unwrinkled, hanging in the rafters.
This is the second. No, I tweeted it out a couple days ago yesterday. A couple of days ago yesterday. That's how it feels nowadays. The last 7 season openers for the Blackhawks are as follows. 2019, they opened the season on the road in Prague.
Yeah.
Against the Flyers. The 2020-2021 season, which technically started January of 21, was Tampa Bay Lightning banner night.
Yep.
They got waxed, as you would imagine.
What?
The other 2021 season opener was a 4-2 loss against the Avalanche. That was the first game of the season, and where you realized, this Blackhawks team that went all in this summer with Seth Jones and Marc-Andre Fleury is not going to hang with the big boys.
Yes.
And then they did it again in 2022. They lost to the Avalanche 5-2. Colorado's banner night. We were in Colorado for that at our friends with DNVR. Then, rejoice. We were in Pittsburgh for Connor Bedard's debut, and they beat the Penguins 4-2. Suck it, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
We were 1-0 that night.
The Yinzers.
It didn't get much better. And then last year, another historical night. The first ever game for the Utahns. Another loss, 5-2. So this will be the third banner raising that the Blackhawks have been a part of in the last 7 years to start the season. This will be, I mean, honestly, outside of that 2021 season opener against the Avalanche, for the 6th time in 7 years, there's some sort of major moment happening for the Blackhawks on opening night.
Well, let's be honest. The Hawks probably don't deserve to be on national television based on their standings and their performance. However, as Chris points out in the chat, it's all about the money. It's all about the interest. People are going to watch the Blackhawks. They're going to hate watch them. They're going to love watch them. They've got a big audience regardless of where they are in the standings. So I think it's an honor to be part of the first game of the season, the absolute first broadcast of the season. So I'll take that. Would it be ideal to start at home? Maybe. But honestly, as a player, I wouldn't mind shaking off the rust on the road a little bit to start the season. So you come home for your home opener and you're at least a little bit, you're ready to go. You're in the rhythm of the season. You've shaken, the cobwebs out a little bit, and maybe you could play at a higher level for your home opener. Yeah. It's something that we can maybe ask next time we have Alex Vlasic in here, run by him, because I wonder if he would prefer to open at home or on the road. Yeah. Because you do have those inevitable butterflies on opening night,
it's the first
regardless
night
of home or road. You're going to have it at the home opener too, but maybe just getting that first, because you'll see. I remember the opener against Utah last year. The Hawks were really bad for the first 2 periods, and then kind of turned it on, made it a game,
settled into the game a bit. Yeah.
And had they played the entire game that way, they probably would have won.
Well, and that atmosphere was nuts.
That atmosphere was incredible.
Utah was crazy.
Yeah. They were that was for a town that doesn't encourage drinking. They were drunk.
Every person that was put up on the Jumbotron, it was chug cam,
just chugging beers.
And it was encouraged.
Yes.
They cheered it, and then it wasn't like here at the UC, which I still haven't gotten a great reason why. Anytime someone starts to chug, it's just like, oh, nope, switch it. Put a kid on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, you're trying to create a family atmosphere, but
yeah, sure. Well, what was a better atmosphere, the
Utah,
the kids on the Jumbotron, or Utahns chugging?
Let's hit the brakes on, but let's talk about that a little bit, because in their desire to make Hawks games more family friendly, they have taken all of the energy out of the fans. Home games I know they're losing, but even when they were good, home games they're a little bit quiet at the United Center these days. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about it next and get to more of your mailbag questions on CHGO Blackhawks. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary is your home for judgment-free cannabis shopping, a place where whether you're new, whether you're a veteran, you can find everything you need with their wide array of high-quality products. Sunnyside has everything you need to elevate your summer. They've got locations in Wrigleyville, River North, Champaign, South Beloit, and more. That's why Sunnyside is Illinois' favorite dispensary. Check out my 2 favorite brands, the Good News and the Mindy's, and those Good News counting sheep. Those are clutch if you have trouble sleeping. Visit Sunnyside.shop for bright buys every day, including 50% off your first 3 online purchases. Just enter the promo code HICHGO at checkout to qualify. Exclusions apply. Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary. Bright buys every day, only for 21 plus or Illinois medical card holders. And for existing users, use the promo code CHGO50 for 50% off one Cresco Labs brand item.
And if you're looking to buy, sell, trade, or just rip open packs of cards, check out our friends at Arena Club. They're changing the hobby with their transparent slab packs and no-fee auctions. You can rip open a pack for as low as $25 and hit on a card that's worth tens of thousands of dollars. Each pack has grails that are at least 20 times the price of the pack. And Arena Club is the most trusted name in the game. They offer full transparency, showing every card in the pack with the likelihood of pulling each one, so you know exactly what's available before you buy. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, grading, or ripping packs, Arena Club is the safest, most trusted name in the game. And if you're heading out to the National Sports Collectors Convention, be sure to stop by the Arena Club booth. That's going on July 30th through August 3rd at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center in Rosemont. Right now, you can get 20% off of your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/CHGO and using the code CHGO.
Speaking of that, should we open a pack now?
Yes, let's rip open a pack. We're moving on to this segment called Cards from the Vault, sponsored by our friends at Arena Club. I am going to share my screen here with Joey, and through the magic of television, he will show you what I'm about to do. Rip open this slab pack. So it's super easy when you go to arenaclub.com. Use the code CHGO. You're going to get 20% off of your first slab pack or card purchase. They have baseball, basketball, football, Pokemon, so many that you can choose from, all different levels. I went with basketball to mix it up from the football today, so we're opening it up. It is Portland Trailblazers star Chris Murray.
Oh,
hey.
With a K, get it right.
All right.
Chris Murray, let me tell you about this guy's 5'4" Niner screener roll game. No one can match up with, Chris Murray's screen game, man. He is a stud.
He's a gym rat. He stays in the gym.
Yeah,
Big absolutely.
Gym rat. 100%.
Former first-round pick for the Trailblazers. Yeah, I
100%.
mean,
that's correct, Mario.
It is great to have like this process, because with Arena Club, like, they're super transparent with the packs and the percentages and the chances that you could get of getting a player like Chris Murray or a player like, a card like Kobe Bryant or something like that. Like, it all varies. Each pack, it lets you know like what's in there, what's available. They have the grails, which are 20 times the value of the purchase of the pack. There's all different tiers. Really cool. So now my basketball team can begin as I rip open these Arena Club slab packs. Nice. With basketball, I've got football. I got Joe Burrow and I got Marv Levy. Now I got Chris Murray started up. So I got to add to my starting 5 in basketball. Get a good rotation going.
Yeah, you need more guys to complement Chris Murray's screener game.
Absolutely. All right,
That's
back to the mailbag.
Let's talk about the arena atmosphere real quick, though, because people are very thirsty for us to rip into Jamie Faulkner. And unfortunately, this has been a problem since before Jamie Faulkner, where the crowd is on their hands quiet during a Hawks game because, frankly, the rowdy fans have maybe been priced out a little bit for games. And the Hawks do have the desire, and it makes sense, to make a Blackhawks game a family experience where you want to bring the kids, you want to create a whole generation of Hawks fans beyond your own. So your kids become Hawks fans and their kids become Hawks fans, and it becomes a family affair for years and years and years. But with that, which is a good business plan, by the way,
right?
It does take away some of the rowdiness from the home crowd that was there in the stadium days and early days of the United Center.
Yeah, I would say that, if you are bringing in more, like they do the best day ever things to try and bring in. Yeah, they're great for building that family atmosphere, building that, that fan base back up through, like you said, like the family traditions of, going to games, and I think they're trying to tap into the young players, the young fans, you all grow together kind of stuff. But yeah, there is a little bit of that like edge to the atmosphere in the arena that really doesn't necessarily feel like it's there night in and night out. But again, success with the team can also bring that, because if you're getting, if you're down 5-1, what kind of atmosphere are you really expecting?
Yeah, I just think also just the nature of society has changed a little bit in that regard, where I think that sports fans have gotten smarter, and it's not so, because you have so much access, you have so much data. I think I'll just kind of go back to like when I started at the Score, you would have Mike North would come on the air and scream and yell about how somebody's a bum and they're not clutch, and there was really no way to. And now you can be like, actually, if you look here, you can see his clutch numbers are actually very good. Like the nature of the sports fan has changed a little bit, where it's not so much emotion based anymore. Of course, those fans still exist, but it's just not as big as it used to be in terms of just being loud, being vocal, being mad, being over your skis about a guy, where now there's so much information and data that every opinion is a little more nuanced than it was.
You still have the people that just scream, shoot the puck.
Yes, we do have those.
Control!
Come on, Murphy. There's one guy who sits in front of us in the press box that just yells at Connor Murphy the whole game.
Yeah.
Well, he has a Murphy jersey.
Yeah, well, I think it's a Winter Classic.
I think he's just a fan.
Yeah, maybe it's his dad. I don't know.
It could be. All right. Mailbag time. Let's keep going. From King Tanner, says, schedule release tomorrow. I'm excited to start planning my trips. Which matchups are you guys most looking forward to? I love seeing the Hawks play the Penguins and Utah, so I can talk a bunch of crap to my friends, but I've been loving the tank bowls between the Sharks and Hawks. I mean, if we're planning road trips, I'm always going based on good stadiums I haven't been to.
Yeah.
So for me, the bucket list is Montreal. That's where I would love to go, love to visit there. Maybe not even just for hockey, just to visit the city.
Oh, yeah.
But I've been to Toronto, I've been to Tampa, been to Boston, been to Detroit. I actually went to the Joe. I haven't been to Little Caesars. So that'd be a fun one.
That would be.
Utah was great. I was not there for Colorado. I wasn't at the game. I was there for the morning skate.
Yeah.
But I've been to a bunch, and yeah, Montreal would be the one. If I'm circling one on the calendar and trying to travel to it, that would be the one for me.
Yeah, I agree. I've never been to. It's got a new name now. I don't know what the name is, but XL Energy Center in Minnesota. I've never been there. Would love to see a game there. I've heard the atmosphere is great. Speaking of atmospheres, going to Montreal would be awesome. I would go to Toronto to see a game. I've never been to the city or to see a game.
It's cool.
I think that would be a lot of fun. To me, the biggest circle on the calendar is going to be when the Winnipeg Jets first come to Chicago.
100%.
Because that's going to be Jonathan Toews returning to Chicago, and that's going to be, as we saw with Patrick Kane's return with the Red Wings, and it so happened to coincide on Chris Chelios' night, but even if it didn't, that atmosphere was going to be nuts for his return no matter what. It's going to be exactly, just like that for Toews on his return.
Yeah, I'm wondering how it will differ.
Well, they're not. I don't think they're going to retire someone's number on the same night.
Oh no, I know. No, I know. But I just mean in terms of reception, because I do think like with the Detroit element of things, I think there was a certain percentage of Hawks fans that were like, ugh, this is really painful to see this beloved figure in a Red Wings jersey. Whereas with the Jets, it's kind of like, okay, the Jets.
Patrick Kane got minutes-long standing ovations. Upwards of 80% of the building lost their mind when he scored the game winner in overtime, and 80% of the building wasn't Red Wings fans.
Right.
So I think it's going to be exactly the same if with the Jets factor not being as, like grit your teeth, cheer through gritted teeth factor as the Red Wings are. No matter what happens in that game, 100% of the United Center is going to be in favor of Jonathan Toews doing anything awesome.
Pat brings up a good point. Detroit playing Winnipeg will be must-watch TV.
That will be interesting.
If the Jets are in Detroit, on a game the Hawks don't play, we should go. That'd be a cool game to cover.
It would, but they're not going to – I don't think that atmosphere is going to be like, oh, my God, it's Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane on the same ice once again. Like, they're not going to have – that factor is for Chicago.
Yeah, it won't be – I mean, it won't be a factor in Detroit, really.
No.
Yeah, that's a great bar night in Chicago. Going out with your buddies and being like, hey, you want to get together? We'll get some wings and watch
Absolutely.
Wings.
That's a great feel like you're 20 years old
Fine,
again.
I'll go to Detroit.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, if the Red Wings are hosting the Jets this season on a night the Hawks don't play, it's like a 7-hour drive to Detroit.
I don't even think it's that bad.
Yeah.
I think it's 6 or something.
Well, if we take the CHGO private jet, it's like 45 minutes.
Then it's 7 days. It's a paper airplane.
We have to build it first.
But I had when I went to the Joe, it was awesome. Very cool atmosphere. I went for Hockey Night in Canada, Red Wings and Leafs, so I didn't really have a investment in what happened.
Yeah.
Of course, I want the Red Wings to always lose. But it was just cool to experience the building. And like, you remember growing up watching the Hawks and Red Wings, and you'd have the B-roll of Joe Louis Arena, like the entry and then the concourses. Mm-hmm. And inevitably, Hawks would get their dicks kicked in every game. Their grundles kicked in, even though they smelled nice. Night after night to Detroit in the 90s. So going through the Joe was like a little bit of PTSD for me. Like, oh, God, there's that hot dog stand that they always show on the B-roll. There's the Gordie Howe statue. There's that entrance with like the flat brown sign. Kind of looks like the BMO a little bit, just much bigger. I'd be interested to see Little Caesars Arena. So
yeah, I've only heard good things about the games there, and
the city itself is cool.
The arena,
too.
Yeah, I've never been to Detroit,
yeah.
So
I had a good time there. Good 24 hours.
Sounds good.
All right, let's get another one in here before the break zone. KRCHI says, what is the perfect time for the splash move? Is it after a season where our prospects didn't make the leaps we'd hoped, or is it right when they do and we start contending for a playoff spot? I would say the second option would be ideal.
Yes, where the direction is pointed now, because we both were proponents of make a splash this summer. Didn't happen, obviously.
Right.
It's even more clear and, out there that Kyle Davidson is investing in the rebuild in the young players and seeing their development. So it's a lot easier to say, well, the time to make that move to put you over the top is when you realize who you have and who you don't have with this wave of prospects coming through and becoming professionals and seeing what they can do at the NHL level. So it might be next summer, dependent on, how things take a next step. I just don't to the point in the question where they were saying if they don't reach their next steps when you want them to, I don't think you go out and make the splash then, because I think you still have to figure out what you do and don't have. And if you go out and make a splash when the players that you're kind of like putting that weight on their shoulder to carry the rebuild and move on to the next phase, if they don't have it, then you don't just jump in and be like, okay, well, screw that. Now we're going to go trade and sign free agents and build a whole new team. Like, I don't think that would be the route to go either. I think you still have to find out what these prospects are.
You have to also understand, too, that, like, Frank Nazar might develop at a different pace than Artem Levshov, but it doesn't mean they're both not, pointed up. It might take a couple years for Oliver Moore to hit his full potential, But I think if you have a year where, and I think this is a fair expectation, is Bedard like close to a point per game? And if Nazar stays on the pace he was at, and you get growth from Renzel, and maybe Levshov plays more than half the season or whatever it might be, that you do start saying, like, okay, this thing is well underway. We've got a couple more guys probably coming after the trade deadline, maybe Frondell when his season ends, maybe it's Sacha Boisvert when his season ends at BU. Joining late in the year, and then say, okay, here's two more pieces that now fill the departed Nick Foligno, maybe the departed Jason Dickinson or Ilya Mikheyev, and these veterans that are out of contract. These spots now open up for kids. But if it does go that way, where you feel positively about the team in April, of 26 as you did in April 25, then then maybe next summer is the time to really make a move.
Yeah,
because you feel like you're ascending.
And I think the splash move might not be free agents anymore. The way that the salary cap's going and teams are able to hold on to their players more easily than before, as we saw this offseason. It might be through trades.
Got some breaking news here before the break zone. We'll let you know more details, but Anton Frondell has signed his 3-year entry-level contract with the Hawks, runs through 2027-28 with a $975,000 cap hit. More on that coming up next on CHGO Blackhawks. Just like your favorite team needs a home ice advantage, your home needs a home floor advantage, and you can get that with our friends at Empire today. They've got flooring experts, dedicated flooring pros who focus on flooring every single day. You've been to those big box stores, and they're great for tools and cleaning supplies and garbage cans and all that, but flooring is too important. That's why you need Empire today. They bring the showroom right to your home. You can pick the flooring and colors for your space, see how it looks with your furniture in your home. Schedule a free in-home estimate today because some things are just better at home. CHGO listeners can receive a $350 discount when using the code CHGO. Yes, you heard me right. A $350 discount with code CHGO. Restrictions apply. Visit empiretoday.com/CHGO for full details.
New vehicles are in store at Ray Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. This is your chance to score a great deal at the Employee Pricing Plus sales event, where right now you can lease the new 2025 Ram 1500 Big Horn Crew Cab for only $399 a month for 27 months. Plus, you can shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. The expert team at Ray Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram is here to help you during each step of your car shopping journey. They prioritize affordability so you know you won't overpay for the vehicle you need. With Ray's price promise, you can shop confidently with no add-ons and no hidden fees ever. The price you see is the price you pay. It's that simple. Go check out our partner today to shop one of the Chicago area's largest inventories. Don't miss out on the Employee Pricing Plus sales event for huge savings on the Dodge Ram 1500 Crew Cab. For more information, visit Ray Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com.
All right, Anton Frondell in the fold, a 3-year entry-level contract signed moments ago with the Chicago Blackhawks, runs through 2027-28, $975,000 cap hit. If you missed the news this weekend, he will return to Sweden to play for Djurgårdens to work on his overall game. And then the expectation, Mario, from what we understand, is he would join the Hawks after that.
Yeah, there was... after he was drafted, Kyle Davidson had talked about giving him opportunities to make the team, be in training camp, all that stuff. Frondell said basically the same things. Over the weekend, there was a report out of Sweden saying that he would sign his entry-level deal soon, happened today, and that he would actually be going to Sweden and preparing for them for their training camp, and wouldn't be in Blackhawks training camp. So we'll see what he ends up doing, but their season begins in September.
Yeah.
And Blackhawks training camp doesn't conclude until that first, preseason and everything, first week of October. So we'll see what the ultimate plan is for him, but I think it always felt likely that he was going back to Sweden. It felt kind of wishful that he would be in camp and make an impression to be in the NHL this season. Scott Powers also kind of reiterating he's very likely to go to Sweden, be there all year, and then when their season ends, which will likely be mid-March, there's potential for him to come over and maybe close this upcoming NHL season with the Blackhawks in the NHL, which would be a ton of fun. And I think that sounds like probably the most likely and best scenario for his development, because if there's already talks of, expectations that he could have opportunities to play in the NHL this season, I don't think he's very far off from being ready. And he gets to play in the top league in Sweden, another season playing against professionals in and it's a higher level of competition because his club got promoted from the Allsvenskan second-tier league to the top-tier league. So it's going to be interesting to watch. Good to see his development, but I think it's the right move for him. He's also going to play the World Juniors. Like this is the season he should have for his after his draft year.
Yeah, I mean, selfishly, we'd like to see him play, but
yeah, of course,
there's no need to rush anybody just because you were able to draft him. I think before the draft, no one really thought of him as, oh yeah, this guy's going to come and play in the NHL right away. And I do think the fact that his team was promoted this year probably means they're not going to make the playoffs in the SHL. So right around the trade deadline is when Frondell would be able to join the Blackhawks. So maybe they move out one of those veterans I mentioned earlier at the deadline, open up a spot for him, and he comes right over, slots in. Yeah. Because I think by March, even if the Hawks have a better season than expected, you'll start to see some separation in the standings, and they won't be really competing for a playoff spot. So bring him in, bring in Boisvert, whoever else you might want to get a look at the end of the year, and really get the youth movement going for 2026-27. But I am it is a smart decision. I know our buddy Windy City Hockey asked if he'll be here for the Prospect Showcase. Don't know about that, but at this point it would kind of surprise me if he's...
I think he's going to be there.
You think?
Yeah. I think right. There have been times where European prospects have played in that showcase before, the Tom Kerber's showcase, or maybe, what am I thinking of? When they were in Traverse City, there were some guys that ended up playing in Europe that did play in that. So I think the timing of it will be interesting to see, because I was trying to look up the schedule of that, but that's usually mid-August, I want to say, that they do that. It kind of leads into training camp.
Yeah, so let's see. This was
was it last
2024, September 14th was kind of the timeline.
Yeah, so it'll lead into training camp, but if it is in September, then I would say he probably isn't. If that report about him going to Sweden to be in Djursgården's training camp to prepare for that year, then I wouldn't imagine he'd be there. Which, I mean, all right, that's fine. Don't play in the some Blackhawk always gets hurt tournament.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yes.
You know?
All right, let's get another one in here, Joey. Any more Discords left? This one from Secret Ozenman. Scott Wheeler released his top 100 prospects summer list yesterday, with the Blackhawks having 7 prospects. That's the most. Do you guys feel like the Hawks prospects are underrepresented, overrepresented, or just right? And who, if any, was left off this list from that prospect pool? By the way, good time to mention, tomorrow Scott Wheeler will be on the show at 2:30, so don't miss that. He'll talk us through his list. So here's the Hawks that were on the list. Tier 1, Artem Levshinov was 7th overall. Tier 2, Anton Frondell, 12th overall. Tier 3 was Sam Renzel, 26th overall. Tier 4, Kevin Korchinski, 62nd overall. And Tier 5 had Oliver Moore, 71st, Nick Lardis, 83rd, and Sasha Boisvert at 87th. So those are your 7 Blackhawks in the top 100 list. To answer the question, there was no one that was not on the list that I expected to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a little bit, I would say a little surprised that Boisvert was on there, pleasantly. Not stunned, but that's very encouraging that many guys are on the list.
Yeah, I mean, this is another year where a list like this comes out and the Blackhawks have either the most or tied for the most players on the list.
And remember, Frank Nazar's not on there.
Right.
Connor Bedard's not on there.
He's out of it.
Yeah.
He's so
add
Bedard's
those
out
two
of it
as well.
Korchinski's out of it as well. Or no, he was on there. Sorry, you listed him. But yeah, I mean, it's I think everyone that made it, I would have expected Boisvert to make it, honestly. D. Paris bringing up Roman Kanserov. Yeah, that would be the one that I would say is probably right on that cusp. The hard thing is, like, how much do you how do you grade the KHL? I think we've seen some players really tear it up with guys like Michkov and Demidov and everything. But Kanserov, like, he had a really good 2 seasons it's been at least for him in the 2 seasons it has been for him in the KHL, where, you know, he was a productive rookie and helped them win the KHL championship. And then this year he was one of the highest productive U21 players. Like, he definitely should be in that conversation. I'm surprised that he didn't make the 100 list, but I think he'd at least, if you can talk to Scott tomorrow about it, he probably would have been one of those guys on that cusp of it. But I think if you say, like, who do you feel more confident, at least right now, with the knowledge that you have of their game and their development, a guy like Nick Lardis or Boisvert or Kanserov, I might, just because of the direct knowledge and being able to have more insight on them, I would say Lardis and Boisvert. And those are the last 2 guys on the list for the Hawks.
I agree. Yeah, I think that if I was to do my rankings just top of my head, I would have Kanserov right below those guys. So,
yeah,
I mean, it's a good thing. I think this, when people are like, you know, you'll see sometimes national media say, like, this is a rudderless ship and the Hawks have no direction. They've been bad forever. It's like, pay attention. Like, really look at what's happening, and these people whose job it is to analyze systems and analyze prospects, you know, they seem to be on board with what the Hawks are doing. And again, we'll ask Scott Wheeler that exact question tomorrow at 2:30, so don't miss it. All right, want to get I guess a secret Asian man is how I was supposed to say that name of the person.
Oh, yeah. Question? Secret Asian man.
Asian
yeah.
man? Okay.
That's how they
spell
it. That's how we pronounce it.
Yeah. All right. For one of the dog days of the offseason in an alternate universe, this is from Warren Bedard's, by the way, several of the Blackhawks players decided they missed their life's true calling of being an actor. Which players, using only once, star in a top movie of the major movie genres: action, comedy, drama, fantasy, horror, sci-fi, thriller, and western? Wow. That's good.
Can I nominate Bedard for Dune?
Oh,
Bedard
sure,
for
yeah.
Dune?
I like that.
I gotta say, Bedard's had a lot of acting work with his commercials in Canada.
True.
So he might be a step ahead.
Would he be in dramas because he gets upset when he takes penalties, which means he wants out of town?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Comedy, I'm going Lev Shinov.
Yeah.
Everyone says how funny he is, and he does have a very comedic presence from time to time. Action.
Who got really scared by that spider?
Yeah.
One of the guys, was it Reichel, got really scared?
I think it might have been.
All right, we'll put him in the horror one.
Okay.
Yeah, Nazar feels action, right? Because he's fast. So some sort of flash or some sort of speed.
He's also always laughing, though. He's always smiling and laughing, so he could be comedy.
He'd be, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
Action.
Western, who's like real serious.
Who's from Alberta? Who can be a Canadian cowboy? How about I think Nolan Allen's from that area.
There you go. I can see that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Let's see.
McLovin says action movie is Foligno. Charlie says horror movie is TJ Brody.
I'm not gonna
Is Blashill Pop perhaps the Western, like the guy who comes into town?
Oh, yeah.
To fix
new
the
sheriff in town.
That's a good one. There you go.
Yeah, new
I
sheriff
like
in
that.
town.
Sure.
Vlasic. What would he be?
He's kind of gonna do it all. You know, that's a leading man right there.
I'll put Vlasic in the suspense thriller.
There you go. Someone's got to be in control.
Foligno does kind of have that, like, the action movie that's like the trope of, like, the guy you wouldn't expect to be like the.
He's got the Jason Statham look.
Yeah. Like unassuming, but he's gonna really F some stuff up.
I think Tyler Bertuzzi could be the actual murderer in a horror movie,
in a slasher film,
or like
Bertuzzi all along.
Like what is it, Deliverance? Yeah. Like the guy who's playing the banjo in the Deep South. That could be Tyler Bertuzzi could fill a role of like of a part of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre family.
Tavo's a good-looking guy. Maybe like he could be in the Gilded Age. Maybe that's a drama.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yeah.
I like this. Yeah, good stuff. That's a good question.
That's a good one.
I like stuff like that. Good job. And McLovin says Bertuzzi for a Hanson brother.
Sure.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, let's take our final timeout of the show. We'll be back in 2 minutes on CHGO Blackhawks. Hit the like button. It's hot. Summer is here, and it's sticky, and jeans were a bad choice by me, but it's okay because we have air conditioning here powered by our friends at Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. They've been serving Chicagoland for over 50 years. Now's the time to get your AC checked out, and Four Seasons experts are ready to help you with AC installation, maintenance, and repair. Their expert technicians ensure you always receive reliable service, and Four Seasons doesn't charge more for service during nights, weekends, and holidays, which is inevitably when things go south. Save up to $4,000 on new comfort systems with Four Seasons. New AC units from $39 a month and AC furnace combos from $57 a month. Your trusted local experts are Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. That's fourseasonsheatingcooling.com.
And with it being this hot, you're probably sweaty. You're probably stinky.
True.
That's where our friends at Mando come in handy. They have a new 4-in-1 acidified cleansing bar that is shampoo, face wash, body wash, and deodorant all in one. It simplifies your entire hygiene routine, and it saves you space when you're packing for a trip. And if you got that whole body deodorant, you're on a trip, you can use it anywhere.
Yep.
Including, but not limited to, your pits, your balls, your thigh folds, your belly button, your butt's crack, and your feet. Mando was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how body odor was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. Mando is clinically proven to control odor better than a shower and soap alone. And if you are traveling, that starter pack is perfect for you. It comes with solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash or the deodorant wipes. And as a special offer, you get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code CHGO when you go to shopmando.com. That's right, 20% off site-wide with CHGO at shopmando.com. Smell fresher, stay drier, boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando.
All right, final segment of the show. Let's start rifling through some of these mailbag questions. Lots of good comments, by the way, about the movie. Pat says Brossois is the Invisible Man. McLovin says Turbo is James Bond. Yes, definitely.
Sure.
Right.
Mikheyev would be a good Bond villain.
That's true. He does kind of have that look to him.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, this one is from our pal Rooney. He says, what is more cringeworthy, adult autograph seekers or catching a puck in warm-ups and not giving it to a kid?
This is tough.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Because I will say, sometimes the person who catches the puck over the glass maybe has a kid at home that they're bringing the puck to.
Uh-huh.
There is nothing worse than adult autograph seekers. It is I'm sorry, if you're on here, sorry, the lowest form of sports fan. I went to the Athletes Unlimited game last week, and everyone was lined up to meet Sam Landry from the Volts. She pitched at Oklahoma. She's outstanding. She's wonderful. She's hugely popular. Mm-hmm. There were little girls that were crying when she came up to them. They were so excited. And there was a guy in his mid-50s, early 60s with a bag full of mini bats that he was like shoving through the fence. And as the girls would come, he would like put it to block them from getting past the bat, because it's like through a chain link fence. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So he'd put it there, so they had to literally sign it to get past. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
By the way, people are saying Windy City Hockey. Windy City goes to places that are signings.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah.
these. He's not like hounding these people outside their homes and outside of practices, and he's not pushing children out of the way to get autographs. Getting an autograph is fine, but if your presence is restricting children from doing that, that's a problem. To be more specific,
Right.
I have autograph things too,
Right.
but I'm not pushing a child out of my way to get it.
Yes, that's agreed. That's pretty bad. My final answer was going to be that version of adult autograph seekers. But yeah, if you are catching a puck over the glass as an adult, give it to a kid. It's very what are you going to do with it? Are you going to impress your buddies? Hey, I caught a puck. Cool. Kids will have a story to tell.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Anyways.
And foul balls as well.
Yep, same thing. Home run balls too.
But again, just to be clear, getting an autograph is not a bad thing. Just let the kids go first.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be intrusive, and also like don't be I saw this working at the Score all the time too. Like when there'd be like a bear at a thing, a guy would come with a backpack full of 8x10s, and someone would say like, I'll sign one of these. I'm not signing 15 of these things because I know you're just going to go sell them. Mm-hmm. Windy City says I pay to go to autograph signings. That's fine.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. But bringing a backpack full of 8x10s for Hunter Hillenmeyer to sign at the bar, like clearly this is not for you, sir.
Right.
That's why if it was me, if anyone ever wanted my autograph, and someday that'll happen, I would say I'll sign one with my name. Everything else for you is personalized. So like, what's your name? Okay, to Mario.
Right.
Love you forever. Love Jay.
Aw, thanks.
XO.
Not you, never Mario.
XOXOJ.
Exactly. Yeah. I could see why athletes are like,
right. Yeah. Exactly.
But then if they don't, they're kind of. Then people's are they're snobby, and then rumors start to spread about their personalities, and it sucks. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Next.
Yes. Edward. The summer gets long for you guys with no new transactions and no games to discuss. Finding 5 hours of content every week becomes a grind. What? So presumably there are certain players you just get tired of discussing. For each of you, the top 3 names you're tired of discussing and the top 3 names you feel don't get discussed enough.
I'm tired of talking about Connor Bedard.
Like our Avalanche show.
No, I'm
so tired of the Avalanche winning. Oh,
I know.
So boring.
I wouldn't say that there's anyone I'm tired of talking about with the Hawks right now, because most guys are still like the ones that we talk about the most often are the ones that are the most important. It's the young players and seeing what they turn into. When we get into the season, if someone's having a crap year this season, and we have to keep talking about them over and over, and if it's someone that isn't part of the future, I'll get very upset with talking about them.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a recent example of that, where
like Brody.
Yeah, Brody is a good one.
Like we would talk about him, but every time it's just like, what else is there for him? Like,
it doesn't matter.
What do you need to say? He's bad. He'll get benched. Like, that's eventually what happened.
I don't know if it's players so much as topics. There's certain topics I get tired of talking about, and I think we're pretty clear about like bring back so and so to do this or that. Like this guy should be a coach because he used to play here. Like that sort of stuff. I always kind of roll my eyes at that. The Bedard as a bust stuff is like, come on.
Yeah, right.
That gets annoying.
That's tired.
But BJD. Seth Jones was a topic I was tired of talking about.
Yeah,
and just the Seth Jones is terrible narrative.
Oh, he's not terrible anymore.
No, suddenly
he got so much
good
better.
At hockey.
Yeah, he got so much better. Guys that aren't talked about enough, I think we're gonna take some more time to talk about him this year, because I really do feel excited about him. Is Sasha Boisvert? That's a guy that I really think stood out last season, and this year I think would be really fun to see. He'll with him being more on the NHL radar. I think once his college season is over, like it's kind of going to be like kind of countdown time. That'll be exciting. And another, who else could I throw out there? Someone else that I don't think gets enough conversation that I think we, at least at the NHL level, could add more to is potentially Samuel Sebois. I think that's a guy that a lot of people like kind of have already like a folk hero attachment to. It'd be really fun to see, what he does in training camp and how much of an actual run he gets to try and make the NHL team, whether it's out of camp or at some point in the season. He's a guy that I think is fun to watch and fun to get behind.
All right, let's try to get one more in before we wrap the show up. I see we've got a long one kind of queued up here. This from that's real
boy.
long.
That's
let's
the
skip that
2-pager. We'll get to that tomorrow.
Let's do Young Dinkle God here.
Yeah.
Realistically, how many pieces do you think the Hawks are away from a contender? There are so many ifs in this prospect pool still. Do you truly believe we have all the pieces already, or do you think we still need potential top 6 wings, a top 4 D-man, etc.
If you're talking in the immediacy, if they were immediately trying to contend now, yes, they do need legitimate top 6 forwards, top 4 defensemen, all that stuff. But I think if you look at in the next 3 years, who emerges as the help for Connor Bedard that has been talked about, you could say that's another one of those topics we're tired of talking about, is who's the help for Connor Bedard. But I think in the next 3 years, I think those questions can be answered. I think Frank Nazar is probably going to be a guy that fits that role.
Yep.
Anton Frondell is probably going to be a guy that fits that role. You throw a potential of Nick Lardis joining the top 9. Depth scoring is always something that's important. Oliver Moore could be that guy. Sasha Boisvert could be that guy. Top 4 defensemen, I feel like at their ceilings, Blackhawks have like 6 of them that could potentially pan out to be that way, with Levshinov and Rinzel, Dalmasho, Korchinski. Vlasic's already a guy that fits that mold. So I think, yes, they have those types of players who, if they hit their ceilings, will be those guys.
Yeah.
It's just, are you going to have the patience to have them all, have them have the runway to get to that point? And are they all going to get to that point? Probably not. It's unlikely all these guys are going to hit and pan out. But I think those pieces that they're missing, they do have in theory.
Yes. I feel good about the D for sure. I would say, you can say with relative confidence that they've got 3 pretty elite defensemen on the team in Vlasic, Levshinov, and Rinzel. I think Kevin Korchinski has elite potential.
Yeah.
I think that you've got solid depth with the guys you mentioned, with however you want to shake it out, Del Mastro, Allen, Kaiser, Crevier to a lesser extent, etc. So I feel pretty good about that. I don't feel the need to add a veteran. I do think that adding a top 6 winger would be a good thing to do. We've talked about this a lot. But if it turns out that, oh my God, all of our prospects hit their ceilings, what are we going to do? What you're going to do is trade one of them for a massive return. And maybe you do what the Dallas Stars do and say, look, we've got too much talent and not enough roster spots, so we're going to trade this elite young player for an established veteran like Mikko Rantanen and in time for a playoff run. Or you just go back and you get another really high draft pick for that player, so you've got more coming through the system as contracts get bigger and guys age out and whatever it might be, and you just keep reloading that way. I just don't think that Davidson should be afraid of adding a legitimate, established top 6 winger simply because he thinks all these guys are going to hit their ceilings. They might. They probably won't, but they might. But if they do, that's a really great problem to have. And you can manage that problem better than you can say, oh, man, I had really high hopes for these 4 these 4 forwards, and none of them have panned out to be top 6 guys. Now what do we do?
Right.
Now we have to sign somebody. You'd rather have the guy here and then have everyone get great. Guess what? Maybe you win a Stanley Cup because of that, which is the whole point of us being here.
That is
winning
true.
the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, all right, we're going to continue the mailbag tomorrow. Then at 2:30, we will talk to our buddy Scott Wheeler. He's going to go over his prospects list. So make sure you check that show out and join us at 2 o'clock. In the meantime, if you've not done it already, please hit that like button for us. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube page as well. And check out all of our What If shows coming this week. The Bulls tonight at 7 o'clock as part of CHGO Rank Week. You're not going to want to miss it. So check it out. 7 o'clock, the Bulls are on, and all week long we'll have our What If shows. So catch those and everything here at CHGO Sports. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 2 on CHGO Blackhawks.
We all silly like the mayor.